Welcome to Geeks Corner. I'm Mr. Daps.
I'm Katie.
And this is not the Dapsies.
No, it's not. And we apologize.
It was going to be.
And then
things happened.
Very early this morning when some Californians like myself were still asleep, Disneyland dropped some news on us. And that in combination with other things that had already happened throughout the week.
And the weather.
Because it's very cold out. We decided it was best to do a traditional Geeks Corner, and the Dapsies will be next week, March 1st.
Correct. So, buddy pals, welcome. Let us know where you're watching from. Let us know what you're most looking forward to with the Dapsies.
Mm-hmm.
Because
and
we have some fun things.
We do.
At least it makes us laugh.
I want to stress
away.
Dapsies were not...
don't stress away.
The Dapsies were not postponed because we were not ready.
We actually are
ready.
Yes.
Weirdly enough, our short film videos are finished.
Yep.
They are ready. All the categories are finished.
Yep.
The cards are written. Like, everything's
we're good to go.
Done.
I mean, this might mean there's bonus material that will get added.
And we've already started brainstorming what that could be.
Yes.
But
you never know.
You never know. But I just wanted to say that I know this might look like we are not prepared.
But we are.
Weirdly enough, we were.
That's actually why it's getting postponed.
Because we were prepared.
Usually the way these things work is night of the Dapsies, we're scrambling, finishing the cards. Usually most stuff is done, but the cards aren't. And so you're just scrambling the last few minutes. What should people do, Katie, if they want to join the conversation tonight?
You should go to geekscorner.live and there's a little chat feature and you can say hello to all the lovely people in the chat. You can also answer my question of the day that I posted on Instagram and on Twitter. I give you a chance to answer it in the
chat.
The chat.
Mm-hmm.
Main Street Electrical Parade, bop or flop?
I did see that.
Bop or flop? Bop, flop?
Of course.
You said, of course, Night. That wasn't a yes.
To the first one.
Okay, I was like,
I love the Main Street Electrical
I said
Parade.
bop, flop, and you said, of course. And I said, ooh. I agree. I agree that Main Street Electrical Parade's a bop. So.
The fact that it's 50 years on.
And she's still reinventing herself.
That, and people are just so excited about it today. Looking at the chatter that was happening online. I think this is, it's one of those things that has aged very well, and part of it is because they do keep reinventing itself. And I think that's a great thing to get started with. Before we get into that, though, if you have any Disney trips coming up anytime soon, we encourage you to
see the Main Street Electrical Parade
and stay at the Disneyland Hotel or maybe the Grand Californian. Any of those. But do it through Mouseways Travel. They are the official travel partner of dapsmagic.com. And it's a free service, which is really awesome. But they will take care of the details so that you can focus on enjoying the magic. And they will make that happen for you. Matthew and his team has done that for me, and he'll do it for you as well. But what we are excited about is that on April 22nd, if my memory serves correctly, we're going to get the return of the Main Street Electrical Parade. We're going to get the return of Disneyland Forever Fireworks and Projection Show. Which I noticed this time they're saying fireworks, whereas last time it was supposed to be like an immersive nighttime spectacular. And then we're also seeing the return that night of World of Color. We'll talk about the other show in a minute or two.
That's going to be a crazy night.
Of the three, which one are you most excited about?
That's difficult. I would say probably Disneyland Forever.
Really? Yeah. Over Main Street Electrical Parade?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think. It's also very hard. Those are three really strong competitors. It's not because I'm not looking forward to any of them. It's just I think I'm looking forward to Disneyland Forever the most.
Okay, that's fair. Main Street Electrical Parade will be updated this time. It looks like Disneyland Forever will be more or less the same, other than fireworks always change a little bit. But we got a first look, which I'm going to show you right now, of the Main Street Electrical Parade's new float, which looks to be a refurbishment, perhaps, of an old classic float, if I were to make a guess.
Honoring all bacon, but mostly America.
I love bacon.
So I will say that the first thing that this concept art reminds me of is the water pageant.
Yeah, actually, I see that.
It's very reminiscent. I will say it's gorgeous.
It really is pretty, and I like the color palette they've used for this.
So good.
It's very, it has a very good feel to it, and it's clearly been inspired by It's a Small World. And I love how it's taking all of these different Disney and Pixar movies from around the globe and bringing them together.
Mhm.
And really, it shows the growth of Disneyland as a resort. Because you think when when Main Street Electrical Parade first came out, it's just a park.
Mhm.
And it really was like the world has gotten smaller, or you could say Disneyland has gotten bigger over the last 50 years. And this really does reflect that. So I think it's cool as you're looking here. I think I see Blue Fairy. I think
Yes.
I see Hercules, actually.
Yes.
Um,
Merida is also on that front float.
that's who I was guessing was Merida. I think Princess Tiana
Uh-huh.
and Miguel on the next
Uh-huh.
float. And then what we got Moana
Uh-huh.
and is that who is on the
I
back?
think that's just a Moana float. I could be wrong.
I'm wondering, is it or is it
I haven't studied the concept art very much, I'll be completely honest. I will
it
keep
could be what's her face from oh gosh, Mulan. That could be Mulan.
it could be. I don't know. I can't see the concept art from here.
We're
very
just gonna
well.
guess.
And
then continuing on, what do we got, Katie?
we've got Frozen.
Yep. What's in front of them?
I literally can't tell, Mr. Daps.
I'm making it bigger for you.
That's so nice. Oh, that's Pocahontas.
Pocahontas. Then we've got Frozen.
We've got Raya.
Raya. That's very cool.
I can't tell who's on the back.
Is that
It looks
Aladdin?
like no. Aladdin's on the
over
other side.
Next one. Yep, you're right.
It almost looks like Mowgli to me, but I could be wrong.
Oh, I think you're right because in the press release it did say the Jungle Cruise or Jungle Cruise.
The Jungle
Book.
Cruise.
The Jungle Book would be included. Yeah, that does look like
and then it is Encanto on the back.
Yes,
of that float. The thing I love the most is it's a small world. Obviously.
Here's a closer look at
and so I think that
the Encanto portion of it. And
yeah,
then,
I love that. And that's the finale, which they did show some video of today.
Which I think this is cool because this is inspired by Sleeping Beauty Castle, but I would say it's equally inspired by It's a Small World.
It feels very Mary Blair to me. Like that's the thing about
which they also said it was inspired by.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing about all of it is that it just feels very Small World.
We should have
Mary
just watched
Blair.
the chat. They were all saying Mulan when I was trying to get the But yes.
Was the America Bacon that long?
Yes, it was.
Really?
Yeah, it was very long.
I can only hope that there are now still going to be high kicks in the finale unit because I did love the high kicks in the finale unit. I also hope that we see a return of the It's a Small World Broke Hoedown music that we had previously when there was a Small World unit.
And then are they going to put all these characters in It's a Small World after the run of the parade? Is that how it works?
I would like to see it personally.
Some of them already are, so.
Personally, I would like to see it. I think it'd be nice. Maybe not all of them. I don't need to see Frozen and Small World. You
can go with the penguins. I mean, it doesn't really fit, but.
They could go in with the penguins.
It'd be cute.
But yeah, it's super gorgeous. I love that they're Small World-esque dolls. I think it's super cute, and I'm very excited to see how they incorporate live entertainers into the finale unit with this. So,
or if they do,
I would think that they would.
I would think
it's
so.
A parade.
I could see it go either way. I could see them just having like the rope carriers behind it.
Yeah. They're still wearing the America costume for some reason.
Not all of the floats have.
They do have entertainers.
A lot
in
of them
aspect.
do, but not like the bugs.
That's true, but those aren't.
I mean, you could make the argument that having the characters on it would count instead of the performers. I don't know. It will be very interesting. I do think there's a wonderful precedent that continues on with this of updating the parade through the years. You know, we got the Tinkerbell float a couple years ago. They've updated or they've taken and added floats through the years.
I think,
and I think that's fine.
At one point, or maybe this was just something that Caitlin and I did for fun one time. I feel like there's an article somewhere about like all the things that existed in Small World. So I remember Caitlin and I still being like, "There's a Small World float." Can't remember if that was for research though, or if that was just for fun.
Could be both.
Is that an article that existed?
We'll have to look.
We'll have to look.
Should have been in the show notes if it was.
Should have been the show notes.
Oh, well.
Anywho.
So that's going to be very fun. And I'm assuming that will be twice a night. We'll see for sure. Because I think it will be very popular. I think, especially since it's a limited run once again. They didn't say final run though.
They did not.
They said limited run.
They were very clear. And I would think it'd be very funny if after this limited run, Goofy gets in the train and he drives it all the way to Florida. And then they celebrate 50 years of Walt Disney World and 50 years of Main Street Electrical Parade. I just think that personally would be funny and a little bit poetic. I'm not saying it's going to happen. I know nothing.
It'd be fun. Like, I'm fine with it. I actually wouldn't mind if they got Paint the Night either, because I just think it'd add a wonderful energy to the park.
As long as they get something.
Like, anything night is really fun at Walt Disney World, and they have more space for you to actually enjoy it that much easier. Like, it's so much easier to watch the parades there because they're so much longer and the streets are wider and all that stuff.
Is that really a longer parade route than DCA?
Maybe not DC. No, DCA is the longest.
Because DCA is the longest.
But I do feel like there's more space.
Yeah, I
watch
agree.
It from further
100%.
away, especially in the hub.
But I do think it's very funny that Magic Kingdom has gotten a daytime parade, but no nighttime parade.
Mm-mm.
We have gotten a nighttime parade and no daytime parade.
Yet, hopefully.
Yet, please bring back Magic Happens.
That would be nice.
I would really like that.
That would be very nice.
Please.
But we are getting Disneyland Forever back. We're getting World of Color back. And that will be also fun on the 22nd. And then on May 29th, I believe. Is that right?
May 28th.
28th.
A day.
Fantasmic will be returning as well to the Rivers of America, which I think is one of the best shows. And it'll be the 30th anniversary of this show, which maybe that means we'll get something special from Mr. Doug Marsh.
You know what was fun for me today? And I'm going to brag about you because I think it's cool. I just think it's really cool that Brett Iwan, the official voice of Mickey Mouse, was very excited about Fantasmic's return. And he posted your picture on Instagram.
I did not realize that.
He tagged you.
I did not.
He photo credited Mr. Dapps.
Oh, that's very cool.
Oh, I'm glad that I could share that with you.
That's kind of fun.
Yeah, it was just something really
We should
cool.
have him back on the show.
We should. It was just something really cool to me. Yeah. I was like, oh.
That is cool. I'm gonna have to go share that after the show.
It was Mickey with his.
I saw the picture. I just didn't realize it.
I literally said, "This is great." Expand caption, and I'm reading it, and I was like, and he gave photo credit to Mr. Dapps. What a guy!
That is funny. I even chatted with him today. That's really funny.
You are a very funny person.
Yeah, you know. Speaking of returns, Fat Cat Swinger will be returning to Disney California Adventure Food and Wine Festival, which is a lot of fun.
Yay!
Looks like, from what I'm seeing on the calendar, which only shows the first weekend so far, they're on Sunday and Monday of the opening weekend. We'll see how that plays out as time goes on.
A Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
That's great.
And they have multiple sets. I think there's 4 or 5 sets in the evening, going from 4, and then the last one's at 8:15 off the top of my head. But that is going to be a blast. You won't want to miss that. And
I love an afternoon Fat Cat show when like the sun is still out. It's kind of warm. You've got your little bites. You got your little drinks. You could say you've got your food and you have got your wine. And you just get to enjoy it. It's just a fun time. Like, I love Fat Cat Food and Wine Festival. It's a good time.
Yeah, I think it'll be a blast. I actually like the evening even better, like sunset in the evening. I don't know why, but I think it just makes it that much more. It brings everything together and makes everybody feel closer, I feel like, in the dark, and kind of it just makes it a really special thing, I think. So can't wait for them to come back. We'll actually get to hear Mark do a full run this time, because if you recall, 2 years ago at the beginning of Food and Wine was the first time we ever filmed and saw Mark performing. Mark Kapinski, great guy, with Fat Cat Swinger, and then everything closed. In fact, I didn't have a picture of Mark yet for the article when I was writing it, and so I had to go with an older picture of Marco, because I was like, oh, I didn't have enough times to actually take any pictures of him, but
because it ended very quickly.
It was suddenly, yes.
That's okay. That's like our. You could say it's 2022.
It's yes. I see what you did there, because it's February 22nd, which is 2/22.
2/2. I will say, Clucky asked the question, which parks in Florida can handle a parade? Going back to the entertainment question. I believe all of them, correct?
Kind of.
Animal Kingdom has had semblances of a parade in the
No,
past.
Animal Kingdom did have a parade, but they had to make it with like Jeeps and stuff because the route wasn't wide enough for
Yeah.
traditional floats. So that's thinner. Epcot would be difficult as
Epcot
well
has had
because-
parades though.
but it would be difficult now with
That's true.
That's pre them putting stuff in the walkways.
That's
all
pre
the
there
time.
being a giant hole in the middle of the park. Yeah.
Well, and year-round
That was it.
festivals. But
It's funny.
and then like Magic Kingdom really is where it could handle it the easiest, and Hollywood Studios could as well, fairly easily.
Yeah, I was just
I feel
thinking
like.
like all of them technically can
I don't know that you could put a huge float though on.
in Animal Kingdom.
No. Even Hollywood Studios, I don't think you could put. I don't think Main Street Electrical Parade would fit in Hollywood Studios. I think it would only fit in Magic Kingdom.
Also, I'm sorry, that is the funniest mental image. Is Main Street Electrical Parade in Disney's
Kinda
Hollywood
would
Studios?
fit, though.
It kind of would.
Yeah.
But imagining it going by Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, going by Indiana
Paint
Jones.
the Night would be perfect there. Like
It just the park does not feel large and grand enough for
No, I agree
me
with that.
to like house a parade like that.
Yeah.
That's why it's mentally such a funny image to me.
Yep. It'd be interesting.
But yeah, I thought it was a good question and I wanted
Mhm.
to talk about it because
Continuing on with our returns, the Dapper Dans and veterans rejoined the Disneyland band for the Patriotic Flag Retreat ceremony at Disneyland, which is now a normal thing. And with that, things changed a little bit, which was great. I was very impressed with how they did it. They put the Disneyland band basically in the street, Dapper Dan's up on the stairs behind them. Veterans could come again down in front of the flag, and then they had it like roped off in the center section where if you ever watch the college band, that's traditionally where they would actually, it's where the band used to kind of wrap around the south side of the flag. That area is mostly roped off now for the Disneyland Security Honor Guard to lower the flag, and then the other half is where the veterans can be recognized. And I thought that was a wonderful way to bring it back and keep things as safe as you possibly can with the phased reopening as they continue to do that. And kudos to Disney for finding a way to make it work. And I hope we see more things like that return because that's just I know it's a special thing to us, but I think it's even more special to people who get to participate and be honored and recognized, and they should be.
Well, because I'm thinking back to we were at Magic Kingdom in October, and they do their flag ceremony a little bit different. They honor like one specific veteran. Is that?
I think that happens sometimes here too, but that happens there in a different way.
In a different way.
Yeah.
But I was like, we watched over in that side area of Main Street. We watched the ceremony where like they gave him a certificate being like, you were our veteran that we honored.
Yeah, so I think they also have one veteran come and help like lead the flag retreat,
so,
if I remember correctly.
And it was just this thing where you could tell like his whole family was very moved by it and he was very moved by it. And I mean, we just watched the veteran who turned 100 at Magic Kingdom, and as part of his birthday he got to help lead flag retreat. I just think it's super special. I like to see it come back in that way because they're always very proud. So yeah, I like it.
Things that aren't returning super soon is Mickey's Toontown will be closing in about a week and a half, 2 weeks. And when it does return, not everything will be coming back. Katie, what is not coming back?
Are going to be reimagined in new and exciting ways.
So it's not coming back.
So who knows what that means?
Yes.
Gadget's Go Coaster.
Yep.
Donald's Boat.
That's a sad one.
Goofy's House. Goofy's House, I'm not mourning.
I like Donald's Boat. That's the only one I'm kind of like, I hope there's some sort of a fun, like, I don't know. I'm sure it'll be great.
I like Donald's Boat. I think Donald's Boat is very fun to take photos of.
And climb in.
But I think that they are making what I am surprised that Chippendale's Treehouse is not going away. I will say that.
Are we 100% sure it's not?
No, they haven't.
I was like, they haven't said one way or the other, I feel like.
They specifically named like Roger Rabbit's Cartoon Spin is staying. Mickey and Minnie's House are staying. They didn't say anything about Chippendale's Treehouse.
You know what I think it is? I think it's so far off the radar that they didn't even
they forgot.
I mean, honestly, if we hadn't Disney bounded it for the 90s, was it 90s night when Murray and I did it? Like, I probably would forget. Like, it's not really a center point or a centerpiece of Toontown anymore. So I could
I think they're just making it more accessible to families in general
and shade,
and shade.
which is very much needed. I
Something
am
Toontown has
curious.
been lacking.
The big thing I'm curious about though is once it reopens and you have Mickey's Runaway Railway, Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway.
Don't forget Minnie.
I didn't. I fixed it. Fireworks.
Pew, pew.
Are they still going to close it at 8:00, or are fireworks going to be a problem and we're not going to get them anymore?
So here's a fun little question mark. Little question mark for you. Little thing to ponder. Galaxy's Edge, that area where it used to be an area you could not go during fireworks.
Mm-hmm.
But now you can.
Yeah, but they're running out of space. I don't know that fixes anything, but it'll be interesting to see how it plays out.
I know nothing.
But speaking of Star Wars, over on another course, I'm moving on. I don't want to think about fireworks going away anymore. Star Wars Galactic Star Cruiser will be taking guests on voyages through the galaxy far, far away starting on March 1st. In fact, there's some people already getting to experience this as part of the members of the media.
Us.
No, it's not us because we're here.
These are our doubles.
Oh, okay.
We have really good. You guys couldn't tell the nuances? We're really good at impersonating them.
That must be it. Yeah, I don't know. But anyway, we're getting to hear more and more about this. We've seen some more concept art. We've gotten to see some of the merchandise and clothing that you can get when you go on the Star Wars Galactic Star Cruiser, or the Halcyon as it's really called.
It's really cool.
What do you think, before spoilers start coming out about this thing on Friday, what do you think right now today about the Halcyon?
I think it's really, really cool. I just think that it is far too expensive for your average guest.
Including us.
Including us. Well, I cannot pay $6,000 for a 2-night voyage.
4,000.
4,000.
Did the price go down?
I don't know.
I literally was looking at the website right before the show, and I didn't make the connection, but it was like $4,089 or something.
I think it also fluctuates off peak season and this, that, the other.
Okay.
But
do you wish you could go?
I do wish I could go, and I will be very honest that when the embargo is up on Friday, I will be immersing myself in all of the information. Yeah, I want to read the good, the bad, the ugly. I want to know everything about Halcyon.
I'm checking my press site literally multiple times a day to see if there's anything new up.
Yeah, because I'm fascinated by all of this.
Mm-hmm.
I remember hearing about this at D23 Expo in 2019?
So here's my question. You said whatever the price is now is too much. What would be that price where you're like, I think it'd be painful, but I would do it?
So a 2-night voyage, I would say if it was my max, let's go my max. My max would be probably $2,500.
Per person or total?
Total.
So, okay, $1,250 each.
Yeah.
Okay. I would actually say if it was $1,500 each, I would probably.
Is that your max?
Yeah.
Okay.
Which honestly, when you think about it, they're not that far above the mark. If you can on the lower tier, whatever days right now, get for $4,000 or $4,100, that's really what, $500 to $550 each total extra. But that's a lot of money.
Well, and the other thing is
that's your flight, that's your food.
We are talking, I'm not even considering any of that stuff. But if you were to say $1,500 per person, that is for 2 nights. That's like a stay at the Grand.
For 2 nights or for 1 night?
For 2
Depending
nights.
Okay.
Because $750, $800 is about.
Which is when you start thinking of it that way, it starts being a little bit more fair, but still out of.
But it's not $1,500. It's
$2,000.
Yeah.
Each.
So.
If you have 4 people though, you're now at charge about $1,500 per person.
Yeah, but I don't want to stay with 4 people
Okay.
at the Halcyon.
I just was realizing I think it's $745 per person
That just
per night.
sounds
if you have
super
4
stressful to
people.
me.
Okay. I'm just saying that's
Like,
a way.
here's the other thing is that the Halcyon just looks kind of cramped. Just makes me nervous. I'm sure it's not.
It might be. We don't know.
Yeah,
Like
and
that's one of the things we'll see on Friday.
I would lose my mind, very honestly. Very, very quickly. I would not be comfortable. I would probably not sleep.
Are you really going to sleep when you're on a galactic star cruiser anyway? Like, why waste the time?
Because you have a schedule of what you are doing. You have excursions. Mr. Daps, your days are planned.
Every time I've been on a cruise, I can tell you I am the last person at the food place where they make the sandwiches at like 1 a.m. And then I'm usually one of the first people getting coffee in the morning too. Yeah, I want to get the most out of it. You spend a lot of money. And then you can see the sunset, you can see the sunrise, you can get really good coffee, you can get a really good sandwich.
I've been on one cruise. I was 10 years old. I ate a lot of ice cream.
Yeah, you get the ice cream throughout the day because you got to balance that out. Like, cruises are great.
It was honestly, being 10 years old, the only bummer, this was also technically the only time I've been out of the country. My whole family went to Mexico, and I was left on the boat at the kids camp. And I know if my parents are watching this. No, it wasn't, because I was the oldest kid in that kids camp. Everybody else was like 5.
But lots of ice cream.
Yeah, I didn't get ice cream in the kids camp.
Oh, that's a bummer.
No, yeah, it was. So yeah, I know if my parents are watching this, they are laughing because they remember that.
Okay. There you go.
So
speaking of Disney experiences, the final thing we're going to talk about tonight, and you're probably going to Geeks Corner Plus. We will see. This last week, we got a whole new business endeavor that was announced by the Walt Disney Company, specifically Disney Parks Experiences and Products Chairman Josh D'Amaro, and that is Story Living by Disney. And the whole thing behind this is you could basically live at Disney.
In Palm Springs.
Yeah, by Palm Springs. So you have really good sunsets and sunrises, and you can see the stars at night, right?
Mm-hmm.
What do you think of Story Living by Disney?
I wouldn't do it personally.
I don't think if we can't afford the Halcyon, there's not a chance in heck we're gonna be able to afford this. I mean, just being realistic. Am I wrong? What?
Just really funny.
Like, I feel like they're the same people. If you can afford the Halcyon, you can probably afford Story Living.
We are the approachable Disney bloggers and vloggers.
Being realistic.
Yeah, we don't have money for these things. No, we don't.
Like, I drive a used car.
I don't.
Yeah, I know. You fancy.
I'm fancy. But I also live at home. Yeah, But
what do you think about it? Like, I know you're not going to be able to live there, but
no.
Unless we're magically surprised. Like, to me, actually,
unless we win the lottery.
Even if I won the lottery, I wouldn't live there because I don't want to live in that kind of heat.
I don't want to live in Palm Springs. That's fair.
Well, because think about how hot it gets. Then you're having to have air conditioning, and that tends to just mess things up in my head, I think.
Well, you know the greatest thing to come out of Palm Springs?
Frank Sinatra.
The Andy Samberg movie, Palm Springs.
Oh.
It's really good. It's a Groundhog Day type movie. You would like it.
Okay.
It's fun.
Okay.
I actually just watched it again the other night. After all of this, I was like, I'm gonna watch Palm Springs again. Because it's just a fun movie.
It's interesting too, because it seems to me like this is another like I wonder how this is gonna play out, because I feel like they started this with Celebration, then they can Golden Oaks was next,
which Golden Oaks is still,
and that one's been, I think, pretty successful.
Yeah.
Like, even I don't remember which trip it was, but they're building more houses for that. It looked like when we drove by, and now you've got Story Living, which will be interesting to see if Golden Oaks become parts of Story Living. Like, will they expand that brand?
I think my immediate gut reaction about all of this is it just feels a little Stepford.
Maybe.
And that's fine. I'm not gonna live there, but that's like my immediate reaction is like,
It'll be interesting. I see Mike's comment about it. Looks like it's geared to retirees, but the concept art definitely had families,
mhm.
and they definitely highlighted families. And there was a definite delineation of there will also be a section for 55 and or like there will be
Go golfing.
dedicated
We don't
things for
know.
55 plus. That will be very interesting to see how that plays out because I feel like younger people are not going to have the same finances that like I'm like
Financial security.
yeah, like as you get 55 plus, you might have a chance in living in a place like this and being able to afford it. But I wonder if they are going to try to do something to make it accessible enough that younger families could get into it. And I could see it going like a little bit too whatever. I could also see it being kind of like an expansion of Disney Springs, downtown Disney,
Yeah.
where it's not like you're living in the middle of Magic Kingdom and some movie. It's more of like a Disney runs this place, so you've got the cleanliness and
Mhm.
you've got a um, the planned community portion of it, but
Mhm.
maybe like Starbucks is still there, and
I
maybe
was gonna say that
uh,
was about to be my next joke as well. When they inevitably open a Starbucks there, when it opens in
yeah,
15 years, I will apply to be its manager, guys.
and then and maybe like Earl of Sandwich probably, but like
Who
which
knows?
wouldn't that be funny?
Because in 10 to 15 years, who knows?
If that's how long it takes.
That's
I
true.
mean, for all we know,
I
it's
am over assuming what this is going to
well,
take.
and for all we know, it's already built. Like it could be there's a housing complex that's already in process being built that they just didn't say, hey, this is it because they didn't want people to know it's Disney and all the money to go up, like all the prices around it to go up.
I will still apply to be the Starbucks manager, guys. I promise this to you.
Okay.
I will live in Palm Springs if that's what it takes to be that.
But you have to wonder, will there be characters? Will there be
No, I don't think there will be.
I don't know.
I,
Like
I
my question is what will make it distinctly Disney?
authentically Chinese, distinctly Disney.
Sure, but
No, every time I hear distinctly Disney, I just think of Bob Iger.
I know, but
Anyway,
I'm actually being serious.
no, no,
Is
no, no.
like what is
Um,
going to make it Disney? Like beyond
I
the planned, the cleanliness, it's going to be run by cast members.
I don't know. Like that's
Like I don't know what the answer is to that yet.
that's the big question mark to me.
And maybe it is the fact that it's planned and it's clean and it's everything is perfect. But yeah, as Angela says, it's a very long way from Disney parks, which that's actually where the question popped into my head is like, well, are they going to play movies in the park or which would not work so well in Palm Springs because it's hot there. Are they gonna have like those Disney magical touches that make Disney so different than everybody else? Because otherwise you just have like what, Irvine in the middle of Palm Desert.
It's true. I do like Steven's idea when he said, "What if, hear me out, it was built to look exactly like Walt's vision of Epcot?"
See, I'm all on board with that.
Yes.
And I actually think there's some precedent for where that like that's why I think Disney keeps trying this over and over again is I think that's a seed that was planted with Walt that they keep revisiting over and over again. And I'd be curious to see. I don't know. Like it'll be very interesting to see.
People movers, kinetic energy. That's what's going to make it distinctly Disney. Kinetic energy.
You know what? If there was a people mover there, I would have to think about it. I don't know.
And Bailey said, "Listen, if we pull everyone who watched Geeks Corner, we could franchise on Earl of Sandwich, next door to the Starbucks Katie is going to manage,
and then shoot Geeks Corner in like the set in the middle of Earl of Sandwich."
I'd be very happy.
I've always wanted to have a studio for Geeks Corner, like where people could actually like a true TV studio.
Yeah.
We even looked once at going on public access television, but it turns out you have to be exactly a certain amount of time.
And
the
Geeks Corner
nature of
Plus
Geeks Corner meant that'd be different. I actually think we could do that now.
Be a certain amount of time.
Well, we can edit quicker now.
Oh,
like
yeah.
Technology was the big prohibitive factor back then. But yeah, Johnny and I looked at that, and we were talking with people about how that could happen, and I think it was 27:30, so it's just like a half an hour TV show we had to be. But anyway, we digress.
Television's scary.
It's fun.
No, it's not.
Anyway, I am very intrigued by story living. I think it's going to be different than what any of us think it's going to be right now, which is why I don't know if there will be, is it just going to be murals with Disney stuff or like abstract, like it's Disney embedded, but you don't see it overtly in some of the artwork. I don't know. I'm intrigued.
I think the whole thing is just fascinating.
I want to cover it whenever they get it open.
Yeah.
I know that much for sure. Where is the Geeks Corner Plus studio going to be when they complete the new
Next to that Starbucks.
That would be very cool. I will admit, when I saw the ESPN setup in California Adventure a couple weeks ago, I was like, oh, that'd be pretty fun.
If ESPN Zone came back?
No.
Oh, to do Geeks Corner.
To do Geeks Corner on that big stage.
So
that they put in the
actually,
middle of Paradise Park.
Actually, what we're planning and why ESPN Zone has been closed for so long is we are putting a set in there, and then on the TVs outside, we're actually going to be broadcasting Geeks Corner.
24 hours a day.
You can't escape us.
Yep.
Yeah. So that's actually the big plans, and I want to say something about ESPN Zone because I said this to you the other day, and you were like, "Yeah, Katie, welcome." There is still a plaque for like opening day of ESPN Zone on the ground in front of ESPN Zone. May she rest in peace.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy. It's been closed for years and it's still there.
Yep, that is true.
I just wanted to point that out because I don't know how many people walk by that because that's like a very closed off corner of downtown Disney now. But yeah, it blew my mind. It's still there.
And we love it.
And we love it.
I mean, interesting to see what happens next as they change downtown Disney.
Yeah.
But
not Datney.
Next week, we have the Dapsies.
We promise.
The Dapsies will be happening. It is the best little award show that doesn't waste your time. Because why would we do that?
Can I make the joke? It's timely. We've already picked the 8 categories we'll be announcing off the air. So we will share that more in depth next week. But we have decided which 8 categories we will be cutting from the Dapsies. Yes. The show with famously only 5 categories.
That is true. But yes, we do have a couple special segments planned in the form of shorts. Maybe we'll have something else by next week as well. Since we have bonus time, we might add bonus content, which would be fantastic, but you won't want to miss it next Tuesday night at 8:30 at geekscorner.live, March 1st.
March 1st.
Very cool. All right, Katie, what should people do?
Go to dapsmagic.com, check out all the Disney and geek news as it happens, and subscribe to our mailing list so you don't miss anything.
That is correct. And make sure you also subscribe to our YouTube channel because we've got a ton of stuff going up. Like, we have so much content. We still have content from Florida to post.
We always do.
We've got the weekly vlogs going up. We've got a lot of other content that we've been capturing throughout the weeks. We might even have a tram ride coming. Like that's
Trams
starting tomorrow, so you won't want to miss that. But that is all the time we have for you this week. So we will see you around the corner.
Bye.